Hello and welcome, this is Rooflemonger, and if you're not already aware, a new patch has come out for Mortal Kombat 11. Now this patch, the biggest thing right now I'm going to tell you, this is mostly a bug fix patch. However, there is some stuff, including a little bit of balance changes, so we're going to go over all the pertinent stuff in this patch. Now, for those of you hoping for more balance changes, please keep in mind NEC, Northeastern Championships, is right around the corner, and it's not really behooving to the game to have a big patch right before a big tournament, but still, let's go over what we got. Alright, so once again, right before we get to it, a lot of the stuff in the patch notes is just small bug fixes and the like. So if you do want to see all the little small bug fixes, please check the video description. I'll have a link to the full patch notes so you can check everything. But first off here, let's just talk about some of the big non-gameplay specific stuff here. And one of them, it does state here, we have improvements to AI logic. So basically fighting the computer. And if you're the kind of person, spends a lot of time in the Towers of Time fighting a lot of computers, hey, more challenging, more interesting CPU to fight. I think that's fine. That's great. We do have some store changes here. Basically saying, just adding more stuff to the store. The game launch, the store wasn't very interesting, and we're starting to get there a little bit, right? So there's just more stuff. That's great. More brutalities per character. Now, these are hidden. They're not going to tell you that kind of stuff, right? We're going to have to find out for ourselves. But more brutalities, and brutalities are always fun. Also, more end-of-round taunts. So, same deal. We're going to have to unlock them, find them, all that cool stuff. But basically, just more cosmetic stuff like that, and that's always fun, right? Also, speaking of Towers of Time here, so we do have new completion rewards for Towers, and specifically, we can get brutalities from Towers now. So, right here, where it says, like, gear, cosmetic, or augment, we can get brutality or augment or something like that. So you can unlock brutalities just by playing the Towers of Time. So that is also, once again, pretty cool. Also for the crypt, more special events have been added. So we've had the last few on repeat now. So there's just going to be more in the future. So A-OK as well. So let's move on to the character specific stuff now. So once again, a lot of it's just bug fixes, right? And a lot of those bug fixes have to do with Terminator and how Terminator's moves interact with other characters. But first up here, for Frost and Aaron Black, they have full screen fatal blows, right? It has been fixed so it can't hit people behind them anymore. So I don't know how much you play online or something, how much you fight these characters, but have you ever been in a situation where they do their move, you jumped over clear, you land on the other side behind them, and then somehow you magically got smacked anyways? It's happened to me more than a few times, I'll tell you that. So that is now fixed. Now, there is a caveat here, because that's two culprits, but that's not everybody, because there's nothing in the patch notes that says Garrus's fatal blow has been fixed the same way. And Garrus is the #1 culprit when I think of getting safely behind a fatal blow and then getting hit by it anyways, so he is not changed, unfortunately, but at least for Frost and Aaron Black, working more as intended. So for proper balance changes here, the big ones, now that they're very big, are Raiden and Kung Lao. So Kung Lao, the hat toss, basic old hat toss here, and that includes guided hat where you can aim it up and down, and possessed hat, which is not in a competitive variation, but all the hat tosses start up a frame faster. And also on the first frame where the move is active, it says it has the hitbox region adjusted. So basically, in general use of the move, a frame faster just means it's, that much quicker for basic use. And perhaps with the single frame faster and the hitbox region being adjusted on the first frame, it may be able to be used in combos where it was never being able to use before. So while it's not a massive issue to be sure, better than nothing. It's a buff, so might as well take it. So as far as like any kind of real balance changes, Raiden is the one that's gotten anything. And before you ask, no, it's not back 1-2 being safe on block. It's still punishable as it ever was, so well, I guess. But first up here, let's talk about Lightning Strike. That's this guy here, the one where you can aim it across the screen and hit folk, right? So Lightning Strike now has 4 more frames of advantage on hit. Now, given that it strikes anywhere on screen, those 4 frames advantage will be the same here, so I'm 11, plus 11 here at close-up, and from full screen, same plus 11, right? So if for whatever reason you actually get it, say you're in the corner or something, you just have more frame advantage to play around with, and make them sweat, right? So that's cool. Also has 5 more frames of block stun, so when you do it, there you are. You're still death on block if you go up close, just so you know it. So don't do anything crazy like that. And you recover 2 frames faster during the move. So it's still what it is. It's a little bit better at what it is. And also, much the same here, the amplified version also has 4 additional frames of hit advantage here, meaning you're plus instead of negative now. Now, the one thing here, and this is basically a nerf. So Lightning Strike Amp, meaning amplified, happens on whiff or block now, right? Before, it can only ever come out on hit. So if you did it and you jammed your amplify button, you could rest assured you're not burning that bar unless it actually connected, right? So now if the move doesn't come out, or just, doesn't connect, or whatever, block, whatever, it'll still come out no matter what, right? So you're always going to be burning that bar. So effectively, that's a nerf, because it basically option selected itself. You always got the best thing. If it hit, then you can amplify it, cool, you get your extra damage, and if it whiffed or got blocked or whatever, never came out, so you didn't spend the bar, right? So maybe you can put that under bug fix or something, but it is technically a nerf. So this is for the third variation here, Lightning Rod. Lightning Rod is now advantage on hit instead of being negative on hit. So before, if you hit him with the move, you lost your turn, despite you hitting them, right? So you do something like this, it's their turn now. So now it's been fixed, you are at the very least, which is the very minimum, as it always should have been, you are advantaged now if you hit the enemy. So that is definitely a big buff for this move, because this move was basically worthless before this specific change. Keeping in line with that change. So if you have the Lightning Rod up and you hit him with, bounce normal here, you are once again advantage on hit. Because before, that was punishable on hit. Which I know is absurd, which is part of the reason why the variation was trash, right? So now, following the logic of fighting games, this is now, you hit him with a move, and you have advantage, just like how it should have always been from the first point, versus it being punishable on hit before. So, yeah. And that's basically the end of it. That's all the end of the changes here. Does Raiden still need help? Yes. And I know Sonic Fox says Raiden's OP. I don't agree. I'll just leave it at that. I think Raiden still needs help. Back 1-2 should still be safe on block, all that kind of fun stuff. But at least this variation isn't a complete joke anymore with negative on hit moves, right? And punishable on hit moves. So that is something. And that's basically the long and short of it of the patch. Once again, all the really little stuff and all the bug fixes in the patch notes, please check them in the video description if you would like, but that's it. Not a lot of big balance stuff, but once again, NEC 20 is literally right around the corner. It's later in the month, and it would not behoove them to have a big massive balance patch right before a big tournament, right? There'll be more balance patches in the future and all that stuff, I'm very sure, but still a lot of quality of life stuff. It's always good to have bug fixes. 2 of the 3 culprits of their fatal blows, Aaron Black and Frost hitting behind them, are dealt with, but we still have to worry about Garrus still hitting you when you're clear over his back, and he still sucks you in some way, somehow, with his fatal blow. That's still a threat, unfortunately. But still, overall, hey, thumbs up. It's always good to have a balance patch, or just any patch, really, and just get stuff fixed. More features being added. For me, personally, I'm very happy that you can get brutalities through towers now. So now I'll probably finally get a lot of the brutalities for the characters. I like that. That's cool. But yeah, that's it, my friends. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video found you well. Go out and play some Mortal Kombat.